Welcome to Philosophy Decoded, where we explore timeless wisdom for modern life. Let's decode today's philosophy. You worked 60 hours last week, answered emails at midnight, skipped lunch 3 times, stayed late every day, and you got less done than your colleague who worked 40 hours, left at 5 p.m., and never checked email after dinner. How is that possible? Because you confused effort with productivity. You were busy. They were effective. Marcus Aurelius ran the entire Roman Empire. He fought wars, managed the Senate, reformed laws, wrote philosophy, and still found time to be present with his family. He never hustled. He never glorified busyness. He made a radical distinction that modern hustle culture has completely erased. The distinction between purposeful action and wasted motion. This is why the Stoics accomplished more than almost anyone in history while working less frantically than your average startup founder. They understood something hustle culture refuses to admit. Working harder doesn't make you more productive. It usually makes you less productive. Here's why. The Stoic concept. Prohairesis. The Stoics had a word for the mental faculty that chooses what to focus on and what to ignore. Prohairesis. It means purposeful choice, or moral capacity to choose. Epictetus taught that prohairesis is the only thing you truly control. You don't control outcomes. You don't control other people. You don't even control most of your circumstances. But you always control your choice of where to direct your attention and effort. Hustle culture says, work on everything. Answer every email. Attend every meeting. Say yes to every opportunity. More effort equals more results. Stoicism says, that's insane. You have limited time and energy. Spending them on low-value activities isn't productivity. It's waste disguised as work. The Stoic question isn't, how hard am I working? The Stoic question is, am I working on what actually matters? Quote, most people can't answer that question. They're too busy being busy. The difference? Effort versus busyness. Effort is directed energy toward a clear outcome. Busyness is motion without direction. You can be incredibly busy and accomplish nothing. You can work 70 hours per week and make zero progress on anything that matters. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Quote, he wasn't talking about people being lazy. He was talking about people being busy with the wrong things. Seneca watched people work themselves to exhaustion on tasks that didn't matter. They felt productive because they were tired. But tired doesn't mean effective. The hustler works 12-hour days, responds to every Slack message immediately, attends every meeting, never says no. They're exhausted. They feel like they worked hard. They did work hard, but at the end of the week, ask them, what meaningful progress did you make on your most important goal? Quote, usually, the answer is, almost none. They were too busy handling urgent but unimportant tasks to focus on important work. The Stoic works 6-hour days, responds to messages in batches, declines most meetings, says no constantly. They have energy left at the end of the day. They don't feel like they hustled. But at the end of the week, they've made significant progress on what actually matters. Because they protected their time and attention for high-value work. Effort means, I'm spending my limited energy on things that compound and create lasting value. Busyness means, I'm spending my energy on whatever feels urgent right now and hoping it adds up to something. It never adds up to something. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who refused to hustle. Marcus Aurelius had one of the hardest jobs in history. Emperor of Rome, wars on multiple frontiers, political intrigue, economic crises, plagues. He could have hustled. He could have worked 18-hour days trying to manage every detail of the empire. He didn't. He had a different approach. In his private journal, Meditations, he wrote, confine yourself to the present. Not, work harder. Not, do more. Confine yourself to the present. Focus completely on the task in front of you right now. Then move to the next task. No multitasking. No scattered attention. No trying to do 10 things at once. One thing. Full attention. Then the next thing. This is the opposite of hustle culture. Hustle culture says, maximize output by doing as many things as possible simultaneously. Stoicism says, Maximize output by doing one thing at a time with total focus. Marcus also wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Quote, translation: You're going to die. Probably sooner than you think. So stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Every morning, Marcus would ask himself, what is essential today? Quote, not, what's on my calendar? Not, what feels urgent? What is actually essential? Then he would do the essential things. And he would ignore or delegate everything else. This is why he could run an empire and still write one of the most influential philosophy books in history. He wasn't busy. He was focused. The Stoic filter. 3 questions before you say yes. The Stoics had a decision-making framework. Before committing time or energy to anything, ask 3 questions. Question 1. Is this within my control? If it's not within your control, why are you spending energy on it? You can't control whether your email gets a response. You can control whether you send a clear, well-written email. You can't control whether you get promoted. You can control whether you do excellent work. Hustle culture wastes enormous energy trying to control outcomes. Checking email obsessively. Following up constantly. Worrying endlessly. Stoicism says, control your effort. Release the outcome. Effort is yours. Outcome is not. Question 2. Is this essential, or just urgent? Most things that feel urgent are not important. Most things that are important don't feel urgent. Email feels urgent. Deep work on your most important project doesn't feel urgent until the deadline. Hustle culture prioritizes urgency. Stoicism prioritizes importance. Seneca. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Being stressed is not the same as being effective. Question 3. If I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Every yes is a no to something else. You have finite time and energy. If you say yes to this meeting, you're saying no to focused work. If you say yes to this project, you're saying no to rest or family time. If you say yes to scrolling, you're saying no to reading. Hustle culture doesn't ask this question. It just says yes to everything in hopes there's enough time. Stoicism says, there's never enough time. Choose deliberately. Epictetus. No person is free who is not master of himself. You're not free if your calendar controls you. You're free when you control your calendar. The productivity paradox. Less effort, more results. Here's the part that breaks people's brains. The Stoics accomplished more by doing less. Not less well. Less total activity. Seneca managed vast wealth, wrote extensively, advised emperors, and still had time for philosophy and reflection. He did this by ruthlessly eliminating low-value activities. He said no to almost everything. He protected his time like it was his most valuable possession. Because it was. Modern hustle culture does the opposite. Say yes to everything. Attend every event. Network constantly. Never stop grinding. Result. Exhaustion with minimal progress on meaningful work. The Stoic approach. Say no to almost everything. Say yes only to what's essential. Focus completely on those few things. Result. Significant progress on meaningful work without burnout. This seems impossible to people raised on hustle culture. They think, if I work less, I'll accomplish less. Wrong. If you work less on low-value activities and more on high-value activities, you accomplish more. The problem is that most of what you're doing right now is low value. You just don't realize it because you're too busy to evaluate. The modern application. How to stop hustling and start producing. Here's the Stoic framework applied to your week. Step 1. Identify the essential. What is the one thing that, if you made significant progress on it this week, would matter most to your long-term goals? Not 5 things. 1 thing. Write it down. Step 2. Protect time for the essential. Block 2 to 3 hours per day for focused work on that one essential thing. No meetings during those hours. No email. No Slack. No distractions. This is your sacred time. Treat it like a meeting with the most important person in your life. Because it's a meeting with your future self. Step 3. Batch or eliminate everything else. All the other stuff, email, meetings, calls, administrative tasks, batch it into specific time blocks. Email. Twice per day, 30 minutes each. Meetings. Only if they're truly necessary, and only on certain days. Everything else. Delegate, automate, or eliminate. If it's not essential and you can't eliminate it, make it as efficient as possible. Step 4. Say no to everything new unless it's more important than your current essential. New opportunities will appear. New projects. New meetings. Default answer. No. Only say yes if the new thing is genuinely more important than what you're already committed to. Marcus Aurelius. If you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential. Do less, but do it better, with full attention, without distraction. That's Stoic productivity. Why hustle culture gets it wrong. Hustle culture glorifies busyness because busyness is visible. You can post about working late. You can talk about your packed schedule. Results take time. Focus is invisible. Saying no doesn't make good content for social media. But results compound. Busyness doesn't. The person who works 12-hour days on scattered tasks will be in the same place a year from now. Just more tired. The person who works 6-hour days on one essential priority will have transformed their career or business a year from now. The Stoics understood, you can't do everything. Trying to do everything guarantees you'll do nothing well. Choose the few things that matter. Do them with complete focus. Ignore everything else. That's not laziness. That's wisdom. The ideas in this video are for educational purposes and represent philosophical perspectives from history. They are not professional advice. Always consider your specific situation and consult appropriate professionals when needed. The Stoics never hustled. They made a distinction between effort and busyness. Prohairesis. Purposeful choice of where to direct attention. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire by focusing on what's essential and ignoring everything else. 3 questions before you say yes. Is it within my control? Is it essential or just urgent? What am I saying no to if I say yes? Do less. Do it better. That's Stoic productivity. And that's the wisdom behind it. If this helped you think deeper, subscribe for weekly explorations of philosophy and meaning. Thanks for watching.